Ambassador Zethkar of the Velthari hegemony adjusted his ceremonial robes as he entered the grand chamber of the Galactic Council. The crystalline walls hummed with ancient power, and the seats of the 12 founding species rose in majestic tiers around the central platform. Today's session would be routine, another primitive species requesting membership, another polite rejection to maintain the Council's standards. The humans had been surprisingly persistent, though. 3 formal applications in as many cycles, each more detailed than the last. Zethkar had to admire their optimism, even if it was misplaced. The Council recognizes the petition of the species designation human from the world designation Earth, announced High Counselor Melvana, her psychic voice resonating through the chamber. Ambassador Sarah Chen of the Terran Federation, you may present your case. The human stepped forward, small, bipedal, with that peculiar pink-brown skin tone that marked their kind. Zethkar noted she moved with surprising confidence for a representative of such a young species. Humans had only achieved faster-than-light travel 47 cycles ago, practically yesterday in galactic terms. Honored counselors, Chen began, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's acoustics. Humanity requests recognition as a sovereign member of the Galactic Council. We offer our unique perspectives, our innovative technologies, and our unwavering commitment to peace and cooperation among all sentient species. Counselor Drakmoth of the Saurian Empire let out what passed for a chuckle among his kind, a low, rumbling growl. Young human, your species has existed for what? 200,000 of your years. The Saurian Empire alone has maintained interstellar civilization for over 12 million years. What could you possibly offer this council? Chen's expression didn't waver. With respect, Counselor Drakmoth, we offer something that perhaps experience cannot teach, the willingness to see solutions where others see only problems. Elaborate, commanded High Counselor Melvana. The void plague that has ravaged the Outer Rim for 3 centuries, Chen replied. Your combined fleets, your ancient technologies, your vast experience, all have failed to contain it. Yet our xenobiologists believe they've identified not just a treatment, but a cure. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Of the void plague was the Council's greatest shame, an unstoppable force that consumed star systems, leaving only empty space behind. Counselor Zen Tai of the Silicon Collective's mechanical voice crackled with skepticism. Impossible. Our greatest minds have studied this phenomenon for 3 centuries, Chen interrupted, a breach of protocol that sent shocked whispers through the gallery. And in all that time, has any member species actually entered a plague zone to study it directly? The silence that followed was answer enough. We have, Chen continued, 3 of our research vessels staffed with volunteers. We lost contact with the first 2, but the third returned with samples and data your species deemed too dangerous to collect. Zethkar felt a chill run through his scales. Even the most desperate species had never been foolish enough to actually enter a plague zone. You sent your people to die for mere curiosity? High Counselor Melvana's psychic projection carried notes of horror and fascination. We sent our people to find answers, Chen corrected. Because sometimes, Counselor, the only way forward is through. For the next hour, Chen presented humanity's findings. Their theories were unorthodox, their methods reckless by any civilized standard, yet their data was undeniably compelling. The void plague wasn't a natural phenomenon or a weapon. It was a defense mechanism, deployed by an ancient artificial intelligence that had been dormant for millions of years. When Chen finished, the chamber fell silent. Zethkar exchanged glances with his fellow counselors, seeing his own amazement reflected in their alien features. "This is remarkable work," admitted Counselor Drakmoth. "However, membership in this council requires more than scientific achievement. It requires wisdom, stability, proven judgment over millennia." "With respect," Chen said, and Zethkar noticed that phrase had become rather ominous coming from her lips. "How wise has the council been regarding the Void Plague? How stable has the Outer Rim remained under your protection? And what judgment led you to abandon entire star systems rather than risk ships finding answers?" The accusations hung in the air like a challenge. High Counselor Melvana's mental presence grew cold. "You dare question the Council's wisdom?" "I question the Council's fear," Chen replied simply. "Fear of new ideas, fear of necessary risks, fear of admitting that maybe, just maybe, a young species might see things your ancient eyes have overlooked." Counselor Zentai's optical sensors flared. "The audacity of this primitive is exactly what the galaxy needs," Chen finished. "Because while you've been sitting in this chamber for millions of years, debating and deliberating, real beings have been dying, and we've been saving them." The vote was swift and unanimous. Application denied. Chen nodded as if she'd expected nothing else. "Then humanity withdraws its application for membership," she announced. "We also withdraw our offer to share the Void Plague cure." "You cannot," began Counselor Drakmoth. "We can," Chen interrupted. "And we will. Furthermore, humanity hereby declares the Outer Rim under our protection. We'll establish research stations, deploy our fleets, and begin implementing the cure. Any Council ships attempting to interfere will be treated as hostile." The chamber erupted in outrage. High Counselor Melvana's psychic shriek reverberated through the crystalline walls. "You cannot claim Council territory. We have fleets that could what?" Chen's voice cut through the chaos like a blade. "Fight the species that volunteers to fly into Void Plague zones? The species that turns its weapons on impossible odds and finds ways to win? The species that just solved your 3-century-old nightmare in 47 years? She paused, letting the implications sink in. "Counselors, you've spent so long being ancient and wise that you've forgotten how to be brave. Humanity hasn't. We're going to save the Outer Rim, with or without your permission. And when we do, when those star systems are free and thriving again, remember this moment. Remember when you chose pride over pragmatism." Chen turned to leave, then stopped. "Oh, and counselors? You might want to prepare your fleets, because after we finish with the Outer Rim, we're coming for the core worlds, not as conquerors, as liberators, from the tyranny of your fear." As the human ambassador's footsteps echoed through the suddenly silent chamber, Zethkar felt a tremor of something he hadn't experienced in centuries: uncertainty. For the first time since his hatching, he wondered if the council had made a mistake. Behind them, through the vast viewport of the chamber, a human fleet decloaked from stealth. Hundreds of ships that had been waiting, invisible in the very heart of council space. The message was clear: run while you can.